Hey everybody, I'm here with Trinette Furtado. She's a candidate for Maui County Council running for the Makawao Haiku Paia seat, and we're gonna walk story. Thanks for joining us, Trinette.
Thank you for having me.
Could you tell us about your background? What are your ties to Maui? What made you want to be involved in politics?
Well, I'm born and raised here. I grew up in Lahaina, and I've basically been in all of the schools here on Maui except for King Kekalike because it wasn't, built at the time, and Hana High School because it's too far out. I've been as a kid here. It's been. I remember being able to talk to anyone on the street, my neighbors. People were able to afford the places they lived in. You had at least one parent at home. And being a parent myself now, I find that that's not easy. That's not easy for two-parent households, let alone one-parent households. And my daughter is 13 now, and I want to make sure that that she doesn't have to be working 2 or 3 jobs just to stay here in the place where she's born. I find that not just the high cost of living, the cost of importing food, what we do with our agriculture, the kinds of jobs we offer to our youth graduating from college, the kinds of jobs we have for our people that have disabilities. All of these things should be a concern for us because we live on an island. Even though we are a 3-island county, every single person in every single community matters. And I think it's the strength of all of us together that make this place the unique place we call home. And so I got involved in politics because, I think we need to get that back. There's too much of a it's all about me kind of mentality, or I'm waiting my turn to get something going. And I think it's all of our turn right now.
Okay. So then as far as things that you want to get going, what do you see as priorities that you would address if you were in the council?
Well, we've talked about housing a lot, and I am working right now as part of Councilmember Atai's office to look at the Affordable Housing Code and how we can not just incentivize developers, but make them more accountable to us. I'd like to see not just affordable units, because that word affordable, we really need to take a look at that. We need to look at attainable housing. When we look at what a person needs to make in Hawaii per year just to own a home, it's staggering. I don't know very many residents that make over $80,000 a year. And so that's one of the things I'd like to look at. Also our infrastructure. As we have a new 5,000 car facility that's being built currently at the airport, that means over 5,000 more cars on our roads. That means a lot of people coming in, a lot of visitors coming in using our water, having a burden on the wastewater system. And so I think that we need to look at how to mitigate that, whether that be taxing our visitors a little bit more for the services they do use and that we have to provide, or kind of spreading that cost out between all the communities. But it's a given that we're going to have visitors. The way we handle them is going to be the important thing.
Right. So you are talking about infrastructure, funding for maybe affordable homes, and even possibly taxing. What are some things that you would like to put into the budget or reallocate within the budget?
The budget. So for the last 2 budget sessions that I've been able to be a part of, what the office has found is that there's no need to cut anything.
Okay.
We have a budget that is now over $800 million for a populace of maybe 170,000. That's huge. We still have people that are houseless. We still have people that go without food. And there's no reason for that. I think if we're able to streamline departments being able to purchase equipment so that they're sharing, or that we have personnel that can go between departments, we need to make it a little more efficient so that the money that we are using, we can use a little more effectively and free up some of those funds that are being hoarded so that we don't have to cut services, we don't have to cut programs, we can serve our populace like we should with a budget of almost $800 million.
So, but you're talking about resources being hoarded. Like, what would be an example of a place where those resources are being hoarded?
Well, for instance, Public Works needs equipment.
Okay.
right? So they may buy a loader or they may buy a dump truck or something, $200,000. Then you have another department that needs that exact same piece of equipment that is also asking for $200,000 for the same thing. And so, you know, I mean, a really easy fix. Why can't we in a central base yard have this particular piece of equipment? They're not going to use it every day. And both departments utilize this, you know, and we can do, you know, some kind of amortization on it, use something that makes it more equal for both departments where they both pay into it instead of both of them getting one, you know, one piece of equipment per department. I mean, that's $200,000 that can be given to, say, the paratransit system. And, you know, and take care of our kupuna.
Roseman. So something that's been coming up really recently is sand mining, the Central Maui sand dunes. What do you think we should do as an ordinance to try to manage the situation with sand dunes?
Well, I think what we need to do is look at any HRS that has to deal with the definition of cemetery. I find that people have a problem with that, defining that how we bury our kupuna is not valid as a way. It's not valid as a way to honor them in a funerary sense. And so I think what we could do is define what a cemetery is, define the limits of that within the parameters of Hawaii state law, and I think we could do some regulation so that we would be able to determine areas here on Maui that we need to protect.
Okay, Trinette, we'll have to continue that conversation later, but I want to thank you so much for walking story with us. Remember to vote in the primary August 11th and the general election November 6th.